Hi there, Robert here. It's the 12th, I think. I'm in Arizona. I got a beautiful sunset and just wanted to check in. Had an adventurous ride, covered a lot of miles, had a flat already, had an oil change in my car, all the usual kind of trials and tribulations you get on a road trip, which is really what life is all about. Life is just it's just a big old road trip. And anyway, I wanted to share a little bit more about, what am I doing on this trip? And one of the things I want to do is sort of have like a coming out party. And coming out party, what I mean by that is share more of my access, my intuitive gifts. I don't really speak much about those. I channeled a book last year. I'm a certified medium as well. But this is a big departure from a guy that, went to Columbia Business School and, cut his, cut his way through the business world. And I'll be sharing a bunch of stuff about that as well. And there's just that arc of how I got there. But one of the things I'm doing is going much deeper into Gnosis. Gnosis is a beautiful word. And most of the world operates on LOGOS. LOGOS is the mind. It's all the beliefs we have, the constructs of life, even things like economic theory. It's just a belief system that we adhere to, and we assign value to that, and then we think it's true. Now, Gnosis is a much larger intelligence. It's actually the basis of knowing. And Gnosis is a way of reaching into the intelligence that's pervasive in consciousness. And I'll be talking a little bit more about consciousness and what that really is. And we are each an expression of that. And channeling, if you want to call it that way, or intuitive gifts, claircognizance, clairsentience, whatever you want to call it, all of these are reaches into the metaphysical, the spiritual realm. And that spiritual realm, when that opens up to you, that's called awakening. And when you awaken, you go on that journey. Some of this information starts coming through you, and that's the intelligence of the heart. And the intelligence of the heart has a language. And that language is sensing, feeling, intuiting, and direct knowing. Because we can't actually know in LOGOS. In LOGOS, we can analyze and synthesize, and we can have ideas, and we can have an understanding of something, but it's limited to that. It's limited to rational thought. And that's actually not the same as knowing. Knowing comes from a much deeper place where it's actually maybe not rationally logical, and still we know. And we all have access to this. And then when that channel opens up and when you cultivate these gifts, lots and lots of knowing can come through you. You become a vessel. And that is sort of what's happened to me over the last 9 years, which has been a big, big departure for me from where I came from and the world I lived in and the world I operated in. And so I'm going to share a lot on this journey, on that arc of my life, and what's that opening up to me. And this particular road trip is really all about going into this void of not knowing, where I leave LOGOS behind and I just open myself up to Gnosis. And this Gnosis is something that I will channel and I will share quite a bit of, hopefully. And I hope you'll dial into it, and I hope there's some pearls of wisdom. There's lots of different things I'd like to talk about. I'm going to take some perspectives on the world from a spiritual perspective, because the world is one created by LOGOS. And this is something where humanity has to change. And we have to change in big ways. But we cannot solve our problems in LOGOS. We have to actually go to a higher level of intelligence. Einstein talked about this when he said, you can't solve a problem the same level of intelligence that created it. And that's really where the world is today. So this is part of what I aspire to share some insights on as well, stuff that wants to come through me. And like I said, it's sort of a coming out party for me, because I don't really speak too much about this, but it's time for me to I feel to start sharing this a little bit more and some of the perspectives that I have from this Gnosis, because it's a beautiful place, and the world starts making a lot of sense once you start gaining access to this Gnosis. Everything starts falling into place. That doesn't make the world necessarily a better place, but it does offer solutions that are self-evident. And there's a beautiful concept I want to share, and it's called the theory of 100 monkeys. And this was on a Japanese island. They studied 100 monkeys, and when the 100th monkey learns to do something new, then suddenly all the monkeys on the island, and even monkeys on other islands, would figure out how to do this. This is the same as when the 4-minute mile was broken, and I think in the year that followed, 12 other people broke the 4-minute mile, which was always conceived as impossible. And this is a little bit what's happening with the world. We are working in this process to get to the 100th monkey. We don't need to change 80, 90, 100% of the people. Even Malcolm Gladwell with his tipping point, which is around 18, 19% of any trend, but it's actually far less. And the reason for that is there's a morphogenetic field, and that is a field of consciousness. And when enough of us awaken to a higher level of wisdom and intelligence, then that will be pervasive, and all of humanity will shift. And this is really what, on the grand scale, what's happening in this universe, it's happening on our planet, even though we see all the chaos in the world. And so I want to share a lot more about it, because it's a beautiful way to understand this world and to see how we can actually change the whole world in less than 10 years. All these insurmountable problems we seem to have are infinitely solvable, but they're not solvable at this level of understanding of logos that the world operates on. So that's a little podcast there on where I'm going with this trip and some of the things I will be sharing. I hope that will be of interest, and if nothing else, it's going to open up new universes inside of me, and even that is just beautiful. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of the sunset. I hope you're really well. Love and truth, Robert.